We are recording now. We are recording now. Okay, guys. How are we doing? This is the first podcast. It's not the first ever I've done, but it's gonna be the first official one. If you hear that music, I have music playing in my earphones. But yeah, oh my god, this is so exciting. I got okay, YouTube, hey, perhaps Facebook, hey, iTunes, SoundCloud, all that fun stuff is all gonna be up there. And this podcast is pretty much gonna be about my character creations, story creations, all that fun stuff, and what inspires me to do these stories. And what I have going on right now is Gfriend's You Are Not Alone song. I don't even want to start. But gosh, the speech all that I have going on right now is my character Jake. I have to cut this off because I'm gonna be too too caught up in that music. But yeah, the speech all that I have going on right now is Kim Jae-kun. His real name is Kim Jae-kun. It's a pretty common boy's name in Korean. But essentially, the company was like, Jaekun is different, it's a little different. But it's still kind of cute for a guy. I don't know. I'm not Korean, but I can imagine that's kind of how that conversation would go in the company. But yeah, essentially, I have no name for the company that these guys are in. Obviously, this is based off of 여자친구. So it's not source music. It's probably some other one I'm gonna make up. But essentially, this is a gay slash androgynous boy group, and there are 4 members. This was created around the time of Gfriend, 2015, I believe. I know Gfriend debuted near the end of a year. Let me double check here. Yeah, it was 2015, in December or something like that. With Glass Bead. Now I'll get into all of that. Oh no, it's January. Oh, so it's the beginning of the year. Wow. Oh wow. So okay. So yeah, Gfriend debuted January. What's the official date? January 15th, 2015. And so this group that I created heavily based off of Gfriend is 남자친구, translates to boyfriend, or in this case befriend. And geez, let's just go into the origin of this a little bit. I'll get into it more when I do music videos for 시간에 달려서 and 오늘부터 우리는 Mugusastu and Rough, because those are the first songs that I've ever listened to from Gfriend. But for right now, I'll just get into the general gist of it. So the fact that these are Gfriend was originally 6, well, I think it was supposed to be 7 members, but one of them dropped out or potentially got fired. I'm not sure, but it wasn't supposed to be 6 members. But the fact that Gfriend is 6 members is really, really important. Obviously, you're not the first K-pop group to do this. Not the first girl group to do this. In fact, one of my favorite groups, one of my favorite K-pop groups of all is A-Pink. A-Pink, they're one of my favorites, and there are a 6-member group. Again, I'm not sure if they were meant to be one as well, but there are 6 members. But the difference, sorry, if you hear stuff, I live in an apartment. But the difference, between A-Pink and Gfriend, in terms of why the 6 members is so important, is because, Gfriend's choreography, at least in their first 3 title tracks, and even their 4th, I would say, No Guriguna, uh, You and I, or Navalera, Nabadera. There's so many different ways you can say that title track's name. And this is trust me, I'm gonna get into Jaekun right now. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, which I should preface that like I'm sorry that like the speed draw is so like it's kind of jarring because I keep zooming in and zooming out very fast. So that's why that's really like wonky. But near later on in the in the video, it'll look a little bit better because I am mindful of that. So I'm like, oh okay, let me not zoom in and zoom out as much. But um yeah, so that's sorry about that, but I'm gonna get into Jaekun in a second. But because it's the first episode, I wanted to get into backstory of what is happening right now. So yeah, the six member group, the choreography in Gfriend's first four title track songs is very very different, very creative, and it really does. It doesn't hide the fact that there are six members or try to like mask it. It embraces it, I feel. And the reason why I wanted 남자친구, Bfriend, to be four members is because I feel like, well, first of all, I don't I it's hard to keep track of more than five members when I'm creating them myself. Obviously I can keep track of them, in real life. Like I know I've learned like all of the 17's names at one point, and I knew their names, the boy K-pop group. But like that it can be overwhelming. I know that. So just to create them, learning them is fine, but creating them is a whole different story. So I feel like it's more intimate to make it just four members. And to and when I made Namda Chingu to be four members, it really made like the choreography that Gfriend had more dynamic and more impressive. And in my head, I added some tweaks and stuff to their choreography to make it more cool and a little bit more, I guess, more boyish, but still very feminine. And oh man, like I feel like it. Oh, this is another important thing that um when there's only four members, I feel like when they are being trained, these dances is definitely, they can be more tight, more synchronized, and that's another thing that Gfriend is known for, is their synchronization, how synchronized they are, um how well they do the dance together. And how precise they are. That's a good word to use, how precise they are. It's really impressive. So just making sure this microphone was on because you never know. But so that's why there's four members. Now, this member right here, he is the oldest. He is the face of the group, which means that he is kind of like the visuals. And like many K-pop groups, he does look the youngest, so go figure, he is the oldest as well. That's why I found out in a lot of groups that, like, especially boy groups, like the seemingly um youngest looking one is usually the oldest one. For example, Jin from Bangtan BTS, and Xiumin from EXO. So uh it was just two examples, but I was like, okay, let's let's carry on that trend, so to speak. It's like too much. I think it's okay. They can be a little bit further away, but yeah. So that's what I had thought of, and right now I know he is blonde, but in the beginning he has blue hair. When he first debuted, short blue hair actually. None of the guys have really really long hair as they do when they progress in their career as K-pop artists. But yeah, Jaekun, he is the more, soft spoken one. He is very kind. However, he is kind of crazy. If you guys have ever seen like Jaekun on variety shows, especially Jugan Idol, Weekly Idol, especially in the early episodes, they are pretty damn crazy, especially my girl Yuju. Joy Yuju. Well, that's not her real name, but Choi is her surname. But anyway, Yuzu is the hypest one. She is possibly the most wackiest one. And I wanted Jaekun to be based off of her and to have him to have those qualities as well. Because I think that's very like unique, and why I think a lot of people like Gfriend is because they're so weird, but they're girls, so it's really like you don't really see that a lot, um, especially in like Korean social standards. Like girls are usually like very like meek and very proper and very like just they do the right thing and that's it. But Yuju is very eccentric, so I thought that was very, very fun to watch. So is Yeden and Shinbi, but Yuju very really sticks out for reasons that we will get into in later episodes. But yeah, so that's why I really, really Jake is probably one of my favorite members of this group. Yeah, so there's only four members, but he's probably like my favorite. Almost tied with somebody else that I'm going to be drawing right now, actually. But we're going to be talking about Jaekun. So yeah, drawing this was very interesting. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to have a light feel, light colors, very bright colors, because the song "You Are Not Alone" is well, it is kind of like it's kind of a sad song, but it's also very like encouraging, uplifting song. So I wanted to have light colors. And so I mean this is like the first time I had recorded I'd done a speed draw before, but it was like an actual like live speed draw. Like it was me actually like traditional drawing it. You can see my hand and everything, drawing on the paper. But this is on the computer, and I'm using Clip Studio Paint. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Clip Studio Paint. Sorry, I would say Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint. Probably the best graphic art. One of the best graphic art softwares. Um, so I got that. Invested in that. I'm pretty broke, guys, but I am fortunate enough to get this stuff by working or by help of my mom, mainly from the microphone here. However, yeah. So, anyways, I digressed. So, I am more comfortable with traditional drawing, um, and sketching, but I can do art on the computer as well. The only experience I had was like MS Paint, like Microsoft Paint, which is not the best. Um, however, so like when I like months ago when I started to do more on Clip Studio Paint, like I was pretty good, but I couldn't figure out like what's the style that was fitting for me. Like I wanted to do a manga, which is a whole different story that I'll get into a whole different other character, based off of Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher, I like saying the Korean name. But yeah, I couldn't really the manga style was so it didn't fit me, and I knew I could do it, but like I wasn't having fun doing it. So what I figured out during this drawing of Jaekun is that like I really do love sketch drawing. Um, however, how to do sketch drawing with a lot of detail? That's what I wanted to do with this, and I figured out a way that I would pretty much do like a line drawing technique. I would literally sketching it and use lines to create my shades, and it would still be seen. It would be still realistic, but it would still be like a cartoon or like an anime type drawing. So maybe I will do a manga in the future. It'll be more of this style. When like doing a manga, when I tried to do it the correct formal way, it was very, very stressful because there's so many rules you have to deal with layout and light and all this crap. But I think that, let's get into One Punch Man for a second. That I'm really inspired by One Punch Man and how that story started off as a pretty crappy comic book. Didn't follow the manga rules of formatting or drawing techniques pretty much at all. But the story was so good that a company had picked it up. What the hell was that? The company had a company had picked it up and kind of uh, revised or redid the whole thing to make it a proper anime. So I don't know. I don't know if my stories would be that special. Only the market will tell. I'll just get my shit out there and we will see how you guys take it. But that is why I'm like, okay, you know what? It won't be perfect, Alyssa. It won't be perfect. I have a problem with that. I deal with perfectionism a lot. I'm trying to wrangle it in, but let's just let's do it. Okay, so maybe I will do a manga, but for right now, this right here is a if you're listening, I'm drawing Jaekun on the Clip Studio Paint. This scene, it's not even the scene, it kind of is a scene, but this picture of him is one of the clips of a lyric video that I will be doing. So, yeah, I'm gonna actually have Yotachingu's music, and it's like your average lyric video, but it's gonna have my characters instead of Gfriend's character. Now we'll have disclaimers, be like, okay, this is actually Gfriend's property and stuff like that. Hopefully YouTube won't be a dick about it and we'll be like, oh, we're gonna take out strike for copyright or whatever like that. I hope that won't happen. But I'm not looking to make money off of these videos, just to get my ideas out there, and just like branding, stuff like that. Beanie, and branding and stuff like that. That's what I'm really looking forward to doing. So, so yeah, this is one of like, if you have seen a K-pop lyric video, you kind of know what I'm talking about. How they have, one person's face and name, and they associate that person and the name with the lyrics that who's singing at the point in time. I think that was my computer. And with this music video, because it's just actually 3 members instead of the 4 members, I'll be having like 3 of the members will have one pose, an up close pose, which you kind of see right now is Jaekun's kind of closer face pose, and then I'll have another version of the same members, but in like maybe just having their face cut off, but having their clothes, like their torso and like their body showing, because what I really, really love to do is to show their clothing, to show their like outfits, because that's a very, very essential part for me, at least, in creating these characters, is having their sense of style represented, especially these guys, because I definitely want to kind of like change like how guys like guy fashion, like male fashion. I think it should have more like variety and more like maybe more color or more just dynamicness. You could say more femininity, but I just think that most male clothes are kind of boring. So I want to kind of incorporate all that, just the kind of Korean fashion mixed with like, I don't know, like hipster fashion mixed with just like bland, like turtleneck fashion. I just want to do my own thing, and I think that outfit choice really does matter when it comes to like making a music video, obviously. Um, so I want to do some of that too. As a this podcast goes along, you'll start to see like what I mean, and as I kind of put this music video together of "You're Not Alone," you guys will understand what I'm talking about more so, hopefully. But yeah, okay, it's going pretty well. I am we are rocking and rolling with time, so that's really good. Sorry, I'm burping into the mic. Had popcorn earlier today. But yeah. So, yeah, like drawing this at first, it was kind of difficult, but I got the hang of how I should draw Jaekun. He has, of course, a blonde ponytail. It's the first time ever that he's had just a plain blonde upright ponytail. Um, his face is very boyish and also very feminine. I wanted to make sure I had that balance because it's really important for me. This is really important for me. These guys do identify as males, but they're just androgynous. They are gay, but they're just androgynous. They like they just have like more girly hair or more girly like clothing and stuff like that. But the other side of that is that they don't actually wear a lot of makeup. Of course, in the music videos they do, but not a lot of makeup when they are on variety shows and things like that. Because I like the natural look more so. These guys, I know it's hard to believe, but these guys have not had plastic surgery. Um, I know Jaekun may have looked like he has had plastic surgery because he is the visual of the group and he looks pretty. But obviously we're this is in my own world here. And in my own world, there's Jaekun, who is absolutely adorable. Um, but he has not had plastic surgery, so But the other guys are clearly have not had plastic surgery, and they're very more less pretty looking. They are pretty, but you can definitely see that like okay, these are like guys, just but they're Asian. Uh, Jaekun is Korean, full blood, um, and like I said, he is quirky, but he's also more of the soft spoken one. He is very very just like the mother of the group, I guess you can say. Um, yeah, so he he did not he made some of the lyrics to the song "You're Not Alone," but it was mainly Chanyeol, which we'll get into who he is next episode. But he beautiful. I mean, like I said, he is based off of Yuju. Yuju. I have to sneeze. Wow. Okay, one more. I'm sorry. Woo. Okay. Anyway, I probably have to sneeze again. He's based off of Yuju, and oh yeah, this is great. It's fantastic. So, excuse me. Um, he's also the main vocalist. I didn't mention that before. He's the main vocalist. He's probably the least talented in dancing. In fact, he's definitely like the member that like people criticize him on like his dancing very very harshly, especially in the beginning. Kind of like your Jin from BTS, stuff like that. I'm not a fan of BTS right now, but I was, so that's why I mentioned BTS because they at the time when I created this group, I did like BTS a lot, so that's why some similarities in that regard. God damn, my nose. Whew. But yeah, so yeah, the main vocalist. So he and You Are Not Alone. He's in charge of like the vocals, like the actual melody of the song. He has very strong vocals, but he kind of kind of combined him with Yuzu and Unha and Una, and the fact that he has a strong voice often, but often he also has very soft, very soft voice like Unha. Una, Una, yeah, and it's been 3 years. I just don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't know. I pronounce Shinbi's name as Shinbi, not Simbi, because how Koreans pronounce it, that's how I pronounce it, Shinbi. Okay, how this is gonna be? This is me blowing my nose. Woo! It's fun. It's a fabulous podcast. But yeah, so that is Jaekun's contribution to the song specifically. Wow, I still got some stuff going on here. Still itchy, still irritating, sneezy, but whatever. But yeah, so oh yeah. Jaekun. Uh let's see here. When I draw, it's a journey because I drawn this all at once in like 4 hours and 15 minutes, and I thought I was done. But as a perfectionist and as an artist in general, I always tweak my things, and I'm like, okay, this could be a little bit better, this could be a little bit better. But for this, I really tried to like record everything, which I have no problem recording everything, but it's just editing and rendering all that shit takes a long time. Like a 4-hour recording is gonna take, like, if I condense that all to a speed draw, and it's gonna be about like 35-40 minutes. If I condense all of that, it's gonna take essentially like 15 hours for it to render. Leave it that I forget what they say, but when take some, lose some, give or take. There we go, give or take. I know that because like the 4 hour, like I did 4 hours all at once, and I rendered that, and it took 8 hours, maybe 7 hours, but 7-8 hours. Okay, so it wouldn't be 15 hours. It would be like maybe like 12. But after I did the 4 hour recording, I did like another 1 hour touching up, and I did another 1 hour touching up. So it's gonna be 2 hours I have to render together. So that's gonna be half of that, like 4 hours, 4 hours about. So yeah, okay, maybe like 11 hours, but it's quite a lot of time just for one video, right? So that's why I like to do this stuff all at once, because editing takes time. And I don't know why I got onto that rant. um I sound stuffy as fuck, Jesus Christ. Yeah. um yeah, I got onto that rant. But anyway, um yeah, I am glad I'm doing this. I am glad that, I didn't listen to any double toasted like I planned to. I didn't listen to any music because the music distracts me. I didn't even draw anything for Chanyeol, which is interesting. But maybe while I draw Chanyeol, I will do the podcast as well. I'm in a really awkward position right here. At least not the most comfortable position right now. Wow, my nose. But I made I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may do the next episode, or the next podcast episode right now. I may not. But luckily, oh, no, lava lamp is doing this thing. hopefully, hopefully you guys just enjoyed this. or at least are informed of how I do my thing when it comes to creating, my shit, and how 남자친구, like, what it means to me and how it came about. It's really not that complicated, but there's a lot of layers that go into me and Gfriend and like 여자친구, 남자친구, and and these characters I've created. So, like I said, this is what I do in my spare time. I just create characters. I sing, I dance, I eat, I watch people that I like on the internet, and then that's it. That's what I love to do. So I'm just happy that I can also, hopefully make a living off of like this shit, like storytelling and creating my art and just expressing myself to you guys in a really authentic way, and hopefully talking to other people about this shit too, because not a lot of people talk about the like gay stuff involving in like Asian people and art and music. Like that stuff does not come together very often, but I kind of want to like make that shit come together with my art. So yeah, not the most elegant way to say it, but hopefully I'll get better at explaining myself in the future when it comes to these things. Whew. But yeah, guys, I'm glad I got this podcast. There will be more. I don't know if there's just going to be a schedule, but I'll definitely do this like once a week. Now that I got my setup straightened up, and my ASMR is doing pretty good. I'll probably record ASMR today as well. I have another ASMR channel. That's a whole different story, guys. But hopefully I get to do dance to "You Are Not Alone." Honestly, the only thing I need to do is like have somebody like record it for me, because the only place I can do it that looks nice is outside, and outside there's a lot of wind, and the camera tends to fall down on the stand when there's a lot of wind. um so I prefer somebody just to be there and record me, but I have a dance that goes along with my group Nada Chingu, and it's the whole thing. So yeah, anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for now. I really enjoyed how Jaekun turned out. He looks really pretty. uh the clothes, again, I'll get into like his clothes in another video when I just focus on like what the outfits look like. um but yeah, for right now, his face, he looks pretty decent. His ponytail looks pretty cool, and I'm just really proud that the technique actually came out quite well. Yeah, guys. So I just thank you guys so much for listening and watching. It's pretty fun. I really like it. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, annyeong. Bye.